Those are all the rights that defendants have, I just explained to you. If you decide you're going to enter a guilty plea or a no contest plea, you're waiving your rights that I just explained. You shouldn't do that. If you're not sure of what's happening, if you're confused, if you don't know what to do, if you want to talk to a lawyer, if you want a trial, any of those reasons, enter a not guilty plea. That's the safest plea you can enter. You can change it later if you wish, but don't enter guilty or no contest to get it over. That's not a good reason to enter those pleas. Call the first case.
State of Ohio versus Joseph K., case number CRB 24762. Joseph K.
Joseph K. It's a wildlife case. Was summoned to be here today at 9 a.m. It's now 9:45. He's not appeared, so there'll be a bench warrant issued, and this year should go back to the Division of Wildlife. They'll serve it. So, bench warrant for failure to appear for arraignment.
State of Ohio versus Kendon J. Sark, case number CRA 24766.
Are you Sark? Ma'am, are you Kandace Sark?
Yes.
Ms. Sark, it's alleged that on November 23rd, 2024, in Perry Township, you purposely deprived Kenneth Paul Fogarty of property, being a pressure washer, without his consent, and the value of the property says was $191.07. It's alleged that the victim was elderly as defined by Ohio statute, so that makes it a felony file theft. Maximum penalty for that is a year in jail, $2,500 fine. Do you understand the charge against you?
Yes.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
No.
Do you have a job?
No.
Okay. I'll appoint Mr. Holt. Mr. Holt. There he is. Mr. Holt, I'm going to appoint you to represent this lady. It's Kandace Sark. It's a felony file. Defense. She has a bond up, so her bonds continue as she posted it. When would you like to do the preliminary hearing?
We do the 6th, Your Honor? We wait time for the
Yes.
6th.
Okay, so the preliminary is going to be January 6th. The Senate waives time constraints until then. That'll be at 10 o'clock on January 6th. Her bond is continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Philip R. Williams, case number TRC 242527, A, B, and C.
Sir, you Philip R. Williams. Mr. Williams, the state's filed a complaint alleging that on December 12th, 2024, at 10:27 p.m. in Perry Township, you were driving a vehicle while you were under the influence of alcohol, and that this would be a first offense under the statute. It's first degree misdemeanor. It carries a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, and a 3-year license suspension. That's the most that can happen. Now on the minimum, it changes depending on what the level is on your breath test. The state's alleging that you tested 22 on a breath test, so that's considered a high test. Any test score above 1.7 is considered a high test, so that raises the minimum penalty. So even though it's a first offense, there's mandatory jail on this if you're convicted. The minimum penalty on the first with a high test score is 3 days in a treatment program and 3 days in jail, $375 fine, and a 6-month license suspension. With regard to the breath test, the other number that's important is the what's called per se level. That's 8. So any test score above 8 on a breath test is considered to be per se or that it's presumed impairment. That the state's only entitled to that presumption though if they show compliance with the rules for giving the test. There's things they have to do in calibrations and so forth to get that presumption. Do you understand what I've explained to you about the operating vehicle intoxicated charge?
Yes, sir.
Then you've got 2 other charges. Speeding, driving 71 miles an hour in a 55 zone, that's not jailable. Maximum penalty is $150 fine for that. There is no minimum. And the other is alleging you had some sort of light out on the back of your car, either a tail light or license plate light. That's also a minor misdemeanor, maximum penalty, $150 fine. So those are the 3 charges. Do you understand them?
Yes, sir.
And you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
How do you wish to plead to these charges?
Not guilty.
Do you wish to be considered for a court-appointed lawyer?
No, I've hired one.
You've already hired a lawyer? What's the name of your lawyer?
Eaches.
Okay. All right, I'll put Mr. Eaches down as your attorney. Did he give you any dates when he was available to come to court?
No, he didn't. He said he would file his paperwork when he had a case number.
Okay. I'm going to go to the new year to set the first hearing. Are you employed, sir?
Yes, sir.
What's better for, we typically have court on Mondays and Fridays. Is one of those days better for you to come back to court?
Either one.
Okay. Let's make it the 13th of January. You need to let Mr. Eaches know that, and then if that's not a good date, he'll contact the court and ask to continue it.
Okay.
And you come back when he tells you he's made arrangements for the next hearing. So January the 13th will be a pretrial at 10 o'clock. You come to court on your own. You did not post a bond, did you?
No, sir.
I'll let you sign a signature bond. So you're guaranteeing your own appearance, and what that means, you're going to sign a piece of paper that says, I promise to come to court as ordered. If I don't show up, I have to pay $1,000 as a penalty, and you get a warrant. So just come to court, you don't have to post a bond. I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. There is an automatic license suspension in effect. You're understanding that?
Yes, sir.
Any questions, Mr. Williams?
No.
Okay. As of now, January 13th, unless Mr. Eaches tells you a different date, 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Earl Paulson, case number TRC 242528, A, B, and C.
And sir, are you Earl M?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Paulton, state's filed a charge alleging that on December the 13th at 8:41 p.m. in Perry Township, you were driving a vehicle while you were under the influence, and that you tested 12. I'm dropping the last place number and moving the decimal point. So I think it's easier to understand if I just say it's 12. Your test score is 12. That is over the per se level of 8, and I just explained to the previous defendant the per se level. Were you listening to that?
Yes, this was lower than what you said, right?
Well, it's lower than his test score, but it's still above the per se level. Per se level is 8. The state's alleging that you tested 12 on the breath test. They have to get a presumption of impairment. They have to show compliance with the rules for giving the test.
Yes, sir.
And it is a first offense. So
Yes, sir.
the maximum penalty on this is 6 months in jail $1,075 fine, 3-year license suspension. Now on yours, because you're on a high test score, your minimum is 3 days in a treatment program. There's no jail time that's mandatory. $375 fine, 6-month license suspension. Those are the minimums.
6 months?
6-month license suspension.
But I still be able to have the work privileges to drive back and forth to work?
You can't get work privileges, but only after 15 days. There has to be a hard suspension for 15 days.
Oh, okay, I understand that, Your Honor. But Your Honor,
Here's the other thing though, but you understand the OVI charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the state's alleging that you didn't have a driver's license, so you can't get any kind of...
Your Honor, I want to plead not guilty because I do have a driver's license. I had it then. He took my copy. I didn't have my hard copy. I just got it 6 days prior to when I got pulled over.
Okay.
I do have car insurance and everything.
All right, the officer checked the box on your citation saying you didn't have proof of insurance. Do you have proof with you?
Yes, Your Honor. And like I said, here's my temps, but it was going with that. I have the regular driver's license.
Okay. Well, let me finish explaining. You're charged with having no driver's license. That's an unclassified misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 500 hours of community service, $1,000 fine, and you're also charged with driving outside the lane. That's a minor misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is $150 fine. So those are the 3 charges. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you on all 3 charges. So you have proof of insurance?
Yes.
Want to furnish? Okay. I'm going to ask that we get a copy of your driver's license.
How do I do that? Do I wait till they get it to
He's gonna get it.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
And it looks like there was insurance on the Jeep. Yes, effective November 27th. So we'll get that. You can show proof of insurance. Do you wish to be considered for a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, I hope so. I mean, because I make $15 an hour.
Do you have dependents? Do you have people you're supporting?
My girlfriend and her aunt, I pay all the household bills and I buy all the groceries and everything. They're older.
Okay, but you don't have any children?
Not that you know what I'm saying, that money comes out of my check. No, Your Honor.
Yeah, I can't consider them as dependents, so.
Well, I mean, I didn't know. I just was saying who I take
I
care of.
understand. So are you working 40 hours a week?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're making about $31,000 a year gross?
I guess I just started a couple months ago.
Okay. Well, you actually make too much for me to appoint a lawyer for you, so Mr. Cooper's going to copy this stuff. He'll get it to you. I'm going to put it off for maybe a month to let you get a lawyer or talk to a lawyer about
How do
this.
Your Honor, I'm not from around here. I was born and raised in Cleveland. I just been out here for like 2 months, maybe 3 months.
But you're living in South Point now, or where do you live?
Yes.
South Point? Okay, you're close by. Well, there's a bunch of lawyers running around here today. You can talk to any of them if you want, or...
Well, I'm trying to get to work so I don't get in trouble too much in
Okay.
trouble, Your Honor.
Well, there is a bar association. You can call them. They're at the main courthouse at the law library. They'll make a referral. I'm old, so I started saying you can look in the phone book, but nobody looks at phone books anymore.
I don't need it. I mean, if there's a lawyer in the courtroom, I'll talk to him real quick before
One right behind you, sitting right there is Mr. Shannon. You
Alright.
want to talk to him?
I need to take things.
I'll set your next hearing, and you're working, so would you prefer a Monday or a Friday to come back to court? Does it matter?
It don't really matter as long as I let him. I'm gonna give him a heads up.
Okay. Well, let's go a month out, so January the 17th.
January the 17th, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm ready now.
Okay, thank you.
There's a form there in a little basket for you to write it down on your next court day.
I wrote it down for me, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. January 17th will be a pretrial at 10 o'clock. He can sign a signature bond of $1,000, and I'm going to put down he will hire counsel.
Sign right there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Beverly M. Hines, case number TRC 22182, TRC 222783, A and B.
It's Brandy, right? Brandy
Yes.
Hines, okay. And you had a review hearing on October 25th, is that right?
Yes.
That you didn't appear for and had a warrant outstanding?
No, no. Not that I know.
Well,
I know I missed
you
Friday.
didn't show up, you get a warrant. so.
Okay.
Okay, so you've turned in some community service recently, and you actually made a payment since you were in November.
Well, I actually paid the rest of it off today, but they said it
Okay.
won't show up in the system because I paid online.
All right,
And that should have finished my community service.
I have entered everything I have to vote on.
thank you. Okay, you weren't required to go to the driver admission program on the first case. Let's see about the second. And you completed outpatient treatment on the second. Okay, you're finished. Your case is completed.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Gretchen Smith, case number TRC 221661, A and B.
And you're Gretchen Smith,
Yes, Your Honor.
and this was set for review October the 11th. Looks like you weren't here then, and you're coming in now.
Yeah, I was hoping to pay my fines off today and get it behind me.
You, looks like you got picked up on the warrant and posted a bond, right?
Yeah, at work.
All right. You're paying off your fines today?
Yeah, if you can recall me here in a few minutes, I could pay it if I know how much I owe.
It's, I'm showing $600.
Well, I might have to break that up into 2 payments.
And you still owe some community service too.
Okay.
You know, the other thing I would like for you to do, based on the history here, is do a urine screen.
Okay.
Once you do a urine screen, come back, and then we'll get you set up on what we're gonna do after I see what your
Okay.
urine screen shows.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Aaron Cron, case number CRA 19288.
This was set December 6th, so 10 days ago for review. And you've done your community service, you just have to pay off.
Yeah, I get paid, I get paid Thursday, and I'm gonna pay 50 on it.
You did make a payment on December the 11th. Okay, I'll withdraw the warrant. You did show up on your own, and you have paid something since your review hearing. I'll set it for January 6th. That's 1 month from your previous regular review hearing. So January 6th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus LaDonna Barnett, case number CRB 24797. LaDonna Barnett.
LaDonna Barnett, jail due to overcrowding. Decided to be here today, 9 o'clock. She hasn't appeared. She's got a Huntington address. There'll be a warrant issued for failure to appear.
State of Ohio versus Tevin Hay, case number CRB 22427.
Yes.
Okay, this is an older case, 22-427, here at Tevin Hay.
Yes, sir.
They say it's alleged that in Union Township on April the 11th of 2022, without the right to do so, you moved, defaced, damaged, destroyed, or otherwise tampered with property of the village of Chesapeake. The charge filed is criminal mischief. It's a third-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 60 days in jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand the charge? Do you understand your rights?
Yes,
How do you plead?
not guilty.
You want a lawyer appointed to represent you?
I'm not sure if I'd qualify for one.
Are you working?
Yes.
I can ask about your income, or if you hire your own, I don't have to ask you.
That's fine.
I have to determine your gross annual income, so you gotta help me. How do you get paid?
Bi-weekly?
And are you paid by the hour?
Yes.
Do you know what your hourly rate
It's either $13 or $14 an hour.
is? Okay. Do you have dependents?
No.
You're a single person?
Mhm.
How many hours a week do you work?
Anywhere from 36 to 40.
Okay. Where are you working?
I work at Clark's Pub and Shop on Hal Greer, assistant management.
Okay. So you're making in the 20s is your gross income. So I'm going to say you're eligible for appoint counsel. I'll appoint Mr. Steyer. Mr. Steyer, Kevin Hayes, an older case. Not guilty plea is entered.
I take it that she appeared on her own. If there wasn't already a bond posted, I would ask for an OR bond.
Yes, she can sign an OR. Looks like, I'm not sure she was served. There's been a return of service on 2 different dates.
I found out about it through a background check for a job application.
Okay.
Sign right
I'm
here.
gonna let you sign $1,000 signature bond. When do you, this is a third-degree misdemeanor, when do you want to come back for the next hearing, Mr. Steyer?
Excuse me. I'm on the docket on the 30th.
Okay, that's good.
All right.
Secretary, lead the next hearing. Pre-trial at 10 o'clock.
All right, if you want to just hang out, we'll be on about 2 or 3 minutes.
State of Ohio versus Austin Pritchard, case number CRA 18-1233 A and B, CRD 18-1234 A and B.
Okay, Mr. Pritchard had a hearing a week ago, it looks like, or, no, Friday. Looks like it was Friday.
I called in here and it was in the system as the 16th. They told me the 16th, and then Minden Reeds called me and said I missed a court hearing.
Okay. All right, I'll accept your explanation. You did come in today. And these amended reads.
He is not, Your Honor. He has successfully completed our residential and our outpatient programs.
All right, very good. So you just have to, you got some payments to make on fines and restitution, it looks like.
Yep, I paid today.
Yes, okay. Where are you working now?
Modern Metals,
What's your work schedule?
Monday through Friday, 6 to 4:30.
Okay, well, we gotta come back. I'm gonna give you more time because you made a pretty substantial payment. But we do have to come back for hearings. What's better, Mondays or Fridays?
Fridays.
And you have, looks like you got a bond up now. It's on the sentencing docket. All right?
Yeah.
We'll go into February. I'm going to set it for February 2nd.
Okay.
That'll be your next thing. February 2nd
Thank you.
for sentencing, 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Courtney M. Corvin, case number CRB 24614.
This is Mr. Smith's case, pre-trial. So we're starting pre-trial.
Yes, yes. Start pre-trial.
I think we need Taylor on this to give you an update, Judge.
She's not here.
Oh, she might.
Yes. Okay.
This is one, that there was a co-defendant or cross-filing. His case has been dismissed. The dismissal of my case is delayed to see how she performs at amended reads. Oh, Bethesda, I'm sorry. So we just need an update and then get a new date.
Taylor, here.
She tells us
Yes,
she's
Your
doing
Honor.
well, but I know the court wants to confirm that. But the hope is this case will also be dismissed, as was the cross-filing, once she completes what she needs to do with Bethesda.
Courtney Corvin.
Good morning, Your Honor. She is compliant with all services and progressing.
Okay, very good.
I'm here any Friday in January except the 10th, but I can do any other Friday. Or if need to, I can do a Monday. I can look for one.
17th, month out.
I'll be here, yes.
January 17th. Next year, pre-trial, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Sandra Handshaw, case number CRB 24668.
This is Mr. Smith's case, pre-trial.
It is, Judge. She has a case pending in which Ms. Waters, the prosecutor, on down in Ironton on a probate juvenile court matter. It's a children's services case. She's got 3 charges here. They arise out of the same alleged incident. I prefer to have one more pre-trial. We want to resolve.
Case in juvenile court, when is it?
It has already been adjudicated, so it's just kind of an ongoing, I think Sandra is working a case plan, yeah.
We could, Judge, and then we'll waive time if we come back another pre-trial. I'm hoping that we can resolve that. These cases they were filed after the children's services case. I'm not sure why they were filed, but they were filed. I really anticipate she's doing well at her case in juvenile court, that this might be something that doesn't go forward.
All right, do you want that same January date, 17th?
I could use it, yes, Judge.
All right, January 17th will be the next hearing.
Hopefully I can update the court where we are on the other case, but
Pre-trial, 10 o'clock.
she's doing well on it. 17th at 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Casey Lynn Blevins, case number CRA 24487, CRB 24488, A and B.
Smith's case, it's on the docket as a 20.
It is, Judge.
She's doing much better.
That's a good report.
Okay. So, much better. It looks like there was some question at one point whether she would need to go inpatient, so got a lot better report
Yes.
now, so that's good. Keep it here, and we can go another month out.
That'd be fine, Judge. I prefer, yes.
January 17th,
That would be fine.
preliminary hearing. 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus David L. Labor II, case number CRB 24764, CRB 23757.
Mr. Smith's case, and there's a new case also.
Well, it looks like a new charge. Training, dogs or whatever she says. It's a minor misdemeanor. So he has a new minor misdemeanor charge, Judge.
Yes.
I was not aware.
You received a copy of that?
Yes, Judge. It's a minor misdemeanor. I don't know if the board will point me on that because it's not a jailable offense, but,
Yes, I will.
okay, I've read somebody else. I don't mind taking it, sure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you wish me to read it?
Oh, no, Judge, we'll waive reading it or not guilty plea, waive time. I talked about this and they said your dogs are out there. They're not confined. But we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I've got them since I got that. I've been kept them on the leash.
We'll talk about this as I put it there, we'll talk about it.
So it looks like it's a good report. I think he's getting the help that he needs. So I'm assuming both the defense and the state are okay with continuing to monitor his situation.
Yes, Judge, and we could also set the pretrial on the other one. I will waive time, it's a minor misdemeanor. You can put this for the same day, that would be fine, give me a chance to talk to him.
January 17th.
It'd be fine, Judge.
All right, both cases will be set. January 17th, there's a waiver of time on 24/7/66.
Yes.
The pre-trial that day at 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Beverly M. Case number PRC 221661, A and B.
Do you have a prescription?
I don't, I think it was possibly diet pills that I was taking.
Everything else is clear. Okay, well, let's get your community service done, and you're going to pay something on your fine today, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a bond up now, right?
Yeah, with Sowers.
Okay, so it's going to go on the sentencing docket, and I'll make it, does it matter if it's Mondays or Fridays?
It doesn't matter.
I'm going to make it then Tuesday, the 21st of January. The 20th is a holiday, so we'll set it for January 21st for sentencing,
9 a.m.?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Thank you, Your Honor.
See, see the perk about making a payment, get your community service done.
I'll try my best. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jacob R. Nichols, case number PRC 241236.
Your Honor, can we recall this once Mr. Hill gets here? I think it's been ongoing
Okay.
legal issues.
It can be recalled later in the document.
State of Ohio versus Savannah Johnson, case number CRB 24712.
Mr. Holt's case set as a pretrial.
Your Honor, we were wishing to enter a change of plea and suggest a sentence or inform the court about some issues on sentencing. Your Honor, Ms. Johnson was a co-defendant of another, what was her name?
Ashley Webb.
Ashley Webb, who was previously entered a plea of guilty. For my review of this is a Walmart theft case, for my review of the film, the other defendant was the main offender. She was there. She didn't take certain steps, and she did forget to, or failed to scan 2 items. So, Your Honor, I believe the co-defendant was sentenced to 30 days, 30 hours community service since a suspended jail time. Ms. Johnson's gainfully employed. She has no record at all. So her goal would be to hurry up and provide whatever, perform the sentence, and then get this sealed as quickly as possible, so it's at least effect on her employment.
State have a recommendation?
No, Your Honor, I would have no objection to that.
Okay. All right. Anything you wish to say, Ms. Johnson? You have a right to make a statement. You don't have to. It's up to you.
Well, there was no reimbursement or restitution because she had the money on her to pay.
I did offer to pay for the things that I didn't scan, and they would not allow me to.
They kept them, right? So
Yes.
They're not out at this point. All right, I'll impose a $100 fine, court costs, 10 days in jail suspended to 5 days of community service, 2 years of level 5 probation, which is non-reporting except for your review hearing. If you get everything done by your review hearing, you don't have to come in. That is going to be on June the 16th of 25. She need to meet with Mr. Major today about her probation and order to stay out of Walmart. Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
See Mr. Major, and you're free to go after that.
State of Ohio versus John T. Wellman, case number CRB 24444.
Mr. Stratton's case, set for pre-trial.
How's things going? When do you anticipate on completing the management?
How many sessions of anger management did you win?
Graduated, that was my last meeting.
Okay.
Amber said she's supposed to give me a certificate.
Okay, so I'll have the certificate this week.
All right.
Okay.
This report is progress, or considered
Yes.
progress.
Yeah.
How do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, he has completed his anger management course. He just doesn't have a certificate yet for that, so,
Is this, I don't know if Ms. Waldo would know this, is this a case where there's going to be a conviction sought or one that may be dismissed eventually?
I believe the agreement was to dismiss with costs upon completion of all that is required in this treatment.
Okay, so I don't think we're there yet.
okay.
It doesn't look like a letter of completion.
No, he's not completed. He's completed the anger management curriculum, Your Honor.
but not substance use.
Right.
He's still getting some counseling for that.
Do we have an idea when that completion is going to be?
Couple months.
So it sounds like we still have a couple of months. It's going to be dismissed.
Why don't we come back January 27th?
January 27th. Yep, that'll work.
January 27th will be the next hearing for pre-trial, 10 o'clock.
You all right then? Oh, okay. We'll be completed by then? Okay. Yeah, we'll be completed by then. Make sure you pay the costs before. Pay the costs before then. Do ask him at the clerk's office, just make sure that we have that paid.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Then we'll get this to.
State of Ohio versus Jordan Wiley, case number CRB 24565.
Maybe approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you, Jen. Don't leave me. This is my week. She's sitting now. She's in the hospital. So I just asked her to do this until Friday. I don't have any hospital records. I just asked them to do it until Friday.
Okay. At the finished request, case is continued to Friday the 20th for pre-trial, 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Jeffrey Bone, case number CRB 24270. Mr. Stiles.
Mr. Stiles' case. Next, we're going to be looking for a dismissal, perhaps, at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of where we were hoping to end up. He's completed treatment through Riverside.
He completed on 11/27, Your Honor.
My notes were be dismissed if there's no further problems due to report the cost paid.
Have costs been paid?
No, and
It'll be in the neighborhood of $150. That's paid that. Be done today? Yeah. Okay, he believes he can pay that today. My thought on that would be maybe we set it for the 30th, and if it's paid, he doesn't need to appear. That way we just
Okay, I set for December 30th for pre-trial, be dismissed on payment of costs, so he doesn't have to appear if the cost is
Okay.
paid.
But if you don't pay it, then you need to be here that day. Same way of pay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
sounds good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll be having up there.
State of Ohio versus Michael M. Davis III, case number CRB 24767, CRB 24649 A and B, CRB 2490 A and B, CRB 24215.
Mr. Stiles' case. Is that hometown? Yes. Excellent.
Yeah, this is a very positive report, Your Honor.
Very good. So, quite the turnaround. Good work.
There was some discussion when we were here last about the protective order that was allegedly is being alleged to have been violated, and the location and so forth. I need to speak to Mr. Davis's wife regarding that. I haven't had an opportunity to do that yet, but he was indicating that he might be able to get her, to get with her over the phone and get me onto the phone with her today. So if we could come back again, I think that's something where I probably want to see through a little bit of time anyway. So maybe a time to come back at the court's discretion.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
he was on probation already, and I believe that's what resulted initially in his going to treatment. He also did some jail time, if I recall correctly. And he has suspended jail time over his head, and then we ended up with new charges after that, violation of protection order being one of them, but also resisting arrest and disorderly conduct. So those things are going to need to be resolved. I had some questions about whether we needed to proceed on the violation of protection order or not, but the other charges we need to proceed on. So we'll have to decide, they're going to have to decide if they want to have a trial or if they want to agree to plead guilty. And if he did plead guilty, we would do the same. We would recommend a suspended jail sentence and have him complete his treatment if he felt like he wanted to do that. Otherwise, we'll just move on and treat these separately.
You need time to come back at the next hearing and let us know what your position is.
Yeah, I'd like to at least explore the issue of the charge regarding the protection order. Explore that a little bit. I sort of have a feeling this is sort of case we're going to be back a few times anyway. So I don't know that there's any. I don't know why there's a particular rush to get to any specific outcome, but I'll do what I can to cooperate with Mr. Hill.
Why don't we set it for January 6th?
Let me make certain I don't have a trial that day. Don't think I do. Nope, I'm actually already on this docket, so that'd be perfect. So January 6th.
Okay. Let's come back on the 6th. We can discuss the legal issues. One thing, Mr. Davis, I want to say to you, this is the best report I've ever seen on you. And I don't want the legal issues to cause you to go backwards on what you're doing in your treatment. So the best thing you can do either way, regardless of how the legal issues turn out, is keep doing what you're doing with the attitude that you're doing it. So that's going to help you.
Thank you.
Okay?
Even if I can say this, even just standing here talking to him today in the courtroom when we spoke out there earlier, seems more with it than I've ever seen him. I'm really impressed by that report. I think he's doing great, so good job.
January 6th, pre-trials on all cases.
Thank you, Your Honor. 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Robert Hatfield III, case number TRD 12-2423.
Mr. Steyer's case set for pre-trial.
Your Honor, this is an old matter that is here on pre-trial on review. There was, when we started this process, Mr. Hatfield came in, he asked for a court-appointed attorney, and we reported on his income and his work situation. It was determined he didn't qualify. He reached out to me. He's retained me now. He is working basically 7 days a week at the moment. He has a job. He doesn't work directly for FedEx, but he's basically a subcontractor for FedEx. This is sort of busy time for deliveries. He's just working nonstop. It's kept him from getting the last bit of community service done that he has to get done, and it's probably not going to be immediate that he's going to be able to get that done. But in the meantime, I believe he has paid off the cash portion with, the money he's making doing all this extra work. Having seen that progress, I'd like to ask to come back a little bit later. I don't know if the court's gonna be comfortable with this, but he said basically his busy season goes through January. So if we can come back around the middle of February, I would expect that in that time frame, he should be able to get those 2 days done.
Okay, let's do February the 10th. If he gets it finished, he doesn't have to come back.
Let me make certain I'm available that day. I have a jury trial that day. I'm available the 14th.
February 14th.
Thank you. 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Donald Knight is here.
Mr. Knight is here. I spoke to him a few moments ago. Somebody just shot up out there, and that may be him. That's him. Your Honor, this is a matter that I took over for Mr. Thompson due to his illness. There was previously a guilty plea in this case. I asked to have a chance to take a look at issues and see if it was something we wanted to maintain. I've gotten the written discovery, but I didn't realize, I guess, I'm used to these things being on discs, and I guess we haven't done that for a while, but the video was sent to Mr. Thompson back earlier in the case, and today, Ms. Dufour has forwarded it to me, so I'm going to be able to take a look at that when I get back to the office. I'd like to continue this one more time, take a quick look at that and just determine if we need to, if he wishes to withdraw his plea and the court would allow that, or we want to just go forward. So if we could come back sometime in the next few weeks, I'd appreciate that, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we had a case recently in which this same issue came up.
Right.
The plea was entered on July the 1st, so that was 5 months ago. The law says, case law, and I believe even the rule says that a request to withdraw the plea should be liberally granted. However, there's case law that says there's got to be a justification for it. And I actually have a case that's pretty much on point, and we believe that in order for the plea to be withdrawn, especially after so much time, there needs to be a motion filed and a hearing held, and the state should have the opportunity to respond. And I don't think it comes down to just because I want to withdraw my plea. So if they want to do that, they need to file a motion.
If a written motion will be necessary, I'll file, if we even get to that point. Like I said, I'd like to take a fuller look at the evidence. I wasn't his attorney when the plea was entered. I don't know whether, I may look at it and tell him, Mr. Knight, there's not a valid reason to withdraw this plea. I just don't know at this point. So I'd like to ask to continue the matter. If it becomes necessary for me to file a written motion, I'll file a written motion, and Mr. Hill can have his say on that, and then the court can rule.
Well, the intervening time, I think he's been at Bethesda, so.
He came one time, he's been non-compliant the entire time. His daughter reached out to me and was really concerned about his use. Said that he's staying in an environment that's not healthy either.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry. But regarding that, he spoke to me this morning and said that he's having difficulty with transportation. He lives in, where does he live? Proctorville? Mm-hmm. He lives in Proctorville. He doesn't have a way to get down there easily. I told him that I would raise the issue of whether, I don't know if Bethesda can provide transportation, but if they can't, maybe if there's anybody that could, or if there's a treatment center that's closer to Proctorville that he can maybe get to on foot.
Our recommendation would have been residential anyways.
Okay. Well, this needs, the last screen that I'm seeing that was done in court was positive for alcohol and amphetamine. There was a urine test taken in this April 24th. So, well, I think this is one of those cases where we had delayed sentencing. So this whole issue of whether there's grounds to withdraw the plea, that needs to be determined rather quickly.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, do you think you have what you need to make that decision?
I believe I do. I had the written discovery already, and now I've gotten the video, so I can take a look at the video and see if there's any issues there that raise an eyebrow.
Okay, well, let's set this for January the 3rd, give you something to work on over the holidays, but I need to know then if we're going to go forward, and I'd like to have a motion filed then.
Thank you.
And if there's not, then I'm going to go back and drill in on the sentencing and what he needs to do to be compliant. So we've continued this for quite a while with the understanding that he was going to try to do some counseling and get good reports in there, and that hasn't happened. So January 3rd will be the next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
figure out a way.
Okay, just stick around for a minute.
State of Ohio versus Jamie Taylor, case number CRB 24665.
This is Mr. Stiers' case, set for pre-trial.
And Your Honor, it's my understanding today, based on discussions, and this may maybe must be taken care of, that the state needed some further information from the alleged victim before we could really be in a position to make, before they could be in a position to make an offer or deal with a couple other issues. So we're going to give him a moment to do that, and we can just see where we're coming from.
Do you have a medical card though? Do you have an insurance? You did, okay, yeah, no need to get this, okay.
No, I don't. I'm just telling you.
I'll tell her. Okay. Well, we've gotten an offer, Your Honor, but it does involve a restitution figure that isn't certain yet, so we're gonna need to come back again at least one more time.
For medicals, or what's the?
That's my understanding, is for medical bills.
Do you have a suggested time?
Do you have a time frame on when you think you get those medical bills?
Do you have those bills that you get to us? We can come back fairly soon.
30th, December 30th?
That day is workable for me, Your Honor.
So that's 2 weeks from today. December 30th will be the next hearing, pre-trial.
Okay, you want to write that down, December 30th?
State of Ohio versus Devon Fletcher, case number CRB 24502.
This is the case, Mr. Stier, I think you were going to.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, I'm covering this for Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
I apologize. He's had surgery, he has to have a picture coming up. I'll come out and talk to you.
Stier, do you need to have time to meet with Mr. Fletcher?
I think it might be worthwhile to speak to him briefly.
All right, case will be
Thank
recalled
you.
later in the docket.
State of Ohio versus Terry J. Aldridge, case number CRB 24718, A and B. Ron, this was originally set for trial, I'm not sure.
Your Honor, looks like we'll have to recall this.
Set for noon.
Yeah.
For trial.
I've spoken to him this morning, so
Okay.
maybe approach on this for a second.
We'll recall it.
State of Ohio versus William Earls, case number CRB 24788.
Norfolk case. Pre-trial.
That's not online.
Yes, ma'am. Here it is. You're Wesley or William? How many? Yeah, we can.
Yeah. And I just talked to him about all of it. He's trying to tell me the story about this. This is just... You and I did not have this file because this was an agreement on first.
Okay.
It was here.
Okay.
Neighbor, just kind of same situation as some of the neighbor. It's the same situation.
Well, I want a chance to consult with them. So let's reset it.
Judge, I believe the state's going to ask you for a little bit of time within which to contact the victim.
Okay. All right, Mr. Earl, we'll come back in a couple of weeks. I want to say you got the wrong sweatshirt on.
The wrong one? Hey, Judge.
Marshall beat Ohio State Friday night in the semifinals of the NCAA soccer tournament, and they're playing for the championship tonight. So
I can honestly
you got a loser sweatshirt.
Don't remind me about the Ishkin game either. Please.
It's a tough thing for people to be a fan of both teams.
I'm just kidding.
But
Ohio State was the #1 seed in the
oh, I
tournament.
know. Well, I was rooting for Marshall in that game. Ohio State's got enough. They got football and they got basketball and they got all those things. Happy for Marshall.
Hopefully they can win tonight. All right, so that's going to be the 30th, then we'll come back. I'm just kidding, Mr. Earl. I like your sweatshirt. December 30th.
Okay.
We're Marshall.
Okay. Okay, I'll be here. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Barbara R. Lawson, case number CRB 22709.
Still at TCC?
Yeah.
Judge, we have anybody here from TCC?
Yes.
She's still in treatment here.
You want to come up?
Is this
Yeah, absolutely.
Judge, could you mind recalling this so we can get a report?
Sure. Case will be recalled.
State of Ohio versus Brittany Eflin, case number CRB 23589, A and B. Brittany Eflin.
Mr. Orpheus case, she was going to hometown with an ankle.
Yeah, Your Honor, we did pick her up. I'm not sure why she's not here.
She is inpatient.
Yeah, we got her that evening.
She doing okay?
So far, she's meeting with the doctor and everything today, so.
Okay. About January the 6th.
I'm here then, Judge.
Next one will be January 6, 25, through trial, 10 o'clock. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jacob Heskett, case number CRB 23750.
What's the state's pleasure on this case?
Well, we want to see him continue on and receive further treatment. He doesn't have an attorney.
No. My note was there was going to be consideration of dismissing it today. Is that, you don't think it's ready?
I don't think we're quite ready for that, Your Honor.
Okay, I haven't seen the report.
Oh, I'm sorry. He just handed it. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. Well, is this a case then the state's not trying to be willing to dismiss?
Well, we may, but not yet. But we also think maybe it might be a good idea if Mr. Heskett had a lawyer just to make sure that he fully understands where things stand and he can get some guidance.
All right, Mr. Heskett, have you considered hiring a lawyer?
I have, Your Honor. I'm currently looking for one.
So you still wish to have counsel?
At this juncture, probably. Yes.
And you want to be considered for court-appointed lawyer?
No, I make, my income's above.
Too much?
Yeah, so I'm currently looking myself.
Okay. Well, I think it would be a good idea. The state doesn't appear to be, at this point, wanting to dismiss the case, so.
I understand.
Eventually, I'll have to set it for a trial, and I think we would need counsel to help you with that issues.
I understand, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll give you another month, and then if it's not resolved then we probably need to be looking at that second trial date.
Yes, Your Honor.
January 17th,
That's
the
fine,
next
Your Honor.
hearing. That's a Friday, month out. Okay, so it'll be 10 o'clock on January 17th for a pretrial.
And I'll need him to sign this time waiver, please.
State of Ohio versus Barbara R. Lawson on the recall, case number CRB 22709.
Mr. Morford's case, are you at the counseling center now, or?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I apologize about the confusion, not being in the loop on this. She came to services on her own accord. That's why I didn't know that she was with us. I reached out to case management. She is compliant. She's doing everything that's expected of her. No complaints.
Okay. And this is a case that's still pending, and it's an old case, so we need to figure out what we're going to do with it. It's just still on the docket hanging there while she goes. Does the state, is this a case that the state will consider dismissing, or is it a case that the state wants to conviction on domestic violence?
She's going to be with us regardless of what happens today. She has responsibilities with CPS right now too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to inquire about, is if Children's Services was still involved in requiring treatment. We, a long time ago, I mean, this is a 22 case. We were originally talking about a 90-day continuance, and it got off track somehow. So we still are looking that way, and we want her to finish and be successful in her treatment. And really, probably this just adds a little extra incentive for her on top of the Children's Services case. So we can okay with keeping it going.
All right, so we'll come back in another month on the 17th.
Please, yeah. Let me check that date, Judge. I've got 2 trials next month. 17th, I'm free.
January 17th will be the next hearing.
Okay. I know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Tia Maynard, case number CRB 24478. Tia
Mr. Pratt's case, Mr. Maynard is at the counseling center. My last report was he was doing very well.
He is. Last time we were here, I know that his wife left the program. Having more discussions with her about coming back.
She's going to OBP, I think.
She's going to OBP? Okay, that's promising. Okay.
I didn't notice that.
Thank you.
Okay, it sounds like there's been some challenges, I guess I would say.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. We had we had some hiccups, but I mean, like in the overall scheme of things in this setting, there's gonna be setbacks sometimes. You know, I talked with Kai a little bit after the incident, and I'm just happy that it's something that took place prior to being back in society. That way we can address the issues while he's with us. You know, even though this has happened, there's been a lot of progress with him. He's pretty stubborn and hard-headed when we first made contact, but like, he realizes that he has made a mistake, and even though there was a mistake made, like, there's still progress there, and we want to continue to work with him, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say, Kai, is, you know, I know his family, I know him a little bit, and I think maybe he had an impression that I was being particularly hard on him because of that. If I was being particularly hard on you, it's because I want to see you be successful.
Yes, sir.
And I know that you have the ability to be successful, so I want to hold you to a standard where I think you can be successful. And that's going to be, from my being in this, around a lot of people who have had the same problems you have, there has to be a change in the way you approach things in life. And you can't be a person that dabbles in this anymore. You have to totally forsake it. I'm not gonna use substances. It doesn't work for me. It's gonna take me down. I mean, I think that needs to be your attitude. And I don't know if we're there yet. I mean, I think I see some glimmers of that, but that's gonna have to be the way it's gonna be from now on, I believe. And if you do that, I think you can do great.
Yes, sir.
And I want to see that happen for you, your wife, your child, your family, our community. We can all benefit by you being the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. That's going to help all of us, especially your family. I mean, they get the most immediate impact. You've got this baby now, and I know you love, it's a girl, right? You love her and want her to be successful.
Yes, sir.
The best thing you can do for your child is to be clean, whatever that takes.
Yes, sir.
And I know it's not easy. It's not an easy thing with the history that you've got, but that's what you have to do for her sake, if nothing else. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, I do want you to be, you know, before there were some things where you had some ways you wanted to do things and I disagreed with it pretty strongly. I think I even put you in the holding cell for a while because I was certain that what you were wanting to do was wrong and what I wanted you to do was the right way. So, I've been doing this for a while. I've seen a lot of folks come through with a similar background and history that you have, but I'm probably more interested in you because I know your family, and I'm more tied in to seeing you be successful. I mean, I want everybody to be successful, but if you fail, I kind of have an image of folks that are going to be impacted by it in my mind, whereas other people are strangers to me. You're not a stranger to me. Okay, so if I'm tougher on you, it's kind of like I would be tougher on my own kids. You know, I coach my own kids. All my kids play basketball for me. I was harder on them than I was the other kids. Okay, because I expected them to play to a higher standard than the other kids. I'm kind of doing the same thing to you. I want you to play to the highest standard that you're capable of. If we're using a sports analogy, which unfortunately I do a lot, so I want you to be successful, and you can be successful.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's keep working at it. You had a little hiccup, and in that hiccup, I see a little bit of the attitude that's not going to make you successful. You if you think, well, I kind of missed getting high with some of those people that I was getting high with before, that's got to change.
Yes, sir.
That's the road to hell. That's the road to you being a failure.
Yes, sir.
Okay? But you got all the tools to be successful. Let's work on that. Another month?
Yes, Your Honor.
I've got quite a few for the 17th. Okay, 17th still works.
Okay.
January 17th.
January 17th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Thomas Massie, case number CRA 24-242. It's Mr. Steyer's case.
Mr. Steyer's case set for preliminary hearing. Is it amended reads? Yes. Okay, my notes for today were we may finish it up. He had a good report, and he's got a good report.
Your Honor, that was my memory as well, so I'm gonna ask Dave has a motion.
Yeah, we're in agreement with that, Your Honor.
All right, congratulations, Mr. Massie. Your case is going to be dismissed. You completed. Keep working though. It's not over. You know, your work continues, but your work with the court's over. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Hunter Tooley, case number CRB 24-329, CRA 24-328, CRB 24-385, A and D, CRB 24-292.
Mr. Morford's case.
He's on the he's not on stop taking seconds.
Who's up? It's either that or a preliminary hearing. If you waive, it's even better. I'm surprised. What do you think we should do?
It's an excellent report.
He's moving in the right direction finally.
Yeah, I kind of felt like I was given a chance with this gentleman when we took him. But he has done well. He's adjusted. He's doing everything that he needs to do, to the point where would you be willing to give him a chance to get this monitor taken off his ankle?
What's the state say?
Well, if the agency feels that it's appropriate, then I guess that, are you sure?
I feel pretty good about it, honestly.
We don't oppose it then.
Okay, Grandma, how do you feel about things?
I feel good about it. He's doing pretty good. He's not leaving anymore, so.
Okay, I'll order the ankle monitor removed. I guess that'll give him a chance to have leave.
Absolutely, really shows progress.
And I expect if he comes to visit you, you're the captain of the ship. He's coming to your house.
I was mom, I'm here too.
You tell him what you want him to do, and he's got to do it. If he doesn't want to do that, hit the road.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay? He doesn't tell you what to do. You tell him what to do. he wants to come to your house, you have to obey the rules of grandma's house, or get out. Okay, good job. I'll order the ankle monitor removed, and we'll come back in about a month. Let's make it the 13th, so not quite a month. January 13th. Are you available then, Mr. Moore?
1 second, Judge. No, Judge, I have a trial coming, please.
Okay, the 17th. We've already set you for the 17th.
Yeah, I'm free then. That's good.
All right, January 17th. See Mr. Major about the ankle.
17th.
January 17th.
Sir, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Randy E. Roy II, case number CRA 24771.
All right, Mr. Roy, do you have an attorney?
No, sir.
Are you going to get an attorney?
I'm probably not going to be able to afford it, sir.
Do you want to be considered for a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You're apparently working. You look like you got to work in the home, is that right?
Getting ready to go to work after this. Yes, Your Honor.
Where do you work?
KDMC.
Are you paid by the hour?
Yes, sir.
How much?
15, 32 hours a week.
Okay, well, that probably is going to qualify. Mr. Stratton, I'll appoint you.
Yes, sir.
This is a felony, but at least it's here for now. I don't know how long the state, is this one the state would take? Can it take the grand jury?
We actually have a subpoena out for Chief Salmons for preliminary today in case we need it. So, yeah, what we would be doing is asking if they wanted to waive it to grand jury or whether we'd not. It's next.
You want to talk with the chief when he gets here, Mr. Stratton?
Yes, Your Honor. Can we just recall this?
He has the bond out, so.
Yeah, can we recall it?
Okay, we'll recall this later in the docket. You want the court's call? Okay. Talk with your lawyer and then don't leave until he tells you you can.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Homer Anson, case number CRA 24790.
Homer Anson is here at the court in Corvin. Mr. Holster is the attorney.
That's fine.
Your Honor, Mr. Hanson wishes to waive his right to a preliminary exchange for bond, a full motion. Being presented in court to modify the bond $15,000 cash assured.
They agree with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, bond will come from 100,000 cash assured to 15,000 cash assured. Mr. Hanson's waiving his right to a preliminary hearing. Mr. Hanson, what you just signed says, I'm giving up my right for the court to determine if there's enough evidence for this case to go to grand jury. You understand that? I'll accept your waiver. So he thinks he is gonna be able to postpone, or?
We'll have to wait, there's a holder, so we have to wait for the council to decide as soon as next week or two, we'll try to get a ballot on that, so. But he can post that if the ballot feels.
Oh, is there already in?
There's a holder already on.
Okay.
So if he is,
So on another matter?
Yes.
Okay.
and then the only basis for violation would be discharge.
So that way you'll know, because sometimes people go down there
Yeah.
and the lawyer doesn't know what happened, so you'll be able to keep tabs on it. All right, well, if you get out, you need to stay in touch with Mr. Holt so he can tell you when you need to get back in court. All right, case is waived to the grand jury on 15,000 cash.
State of Ohio versus Justin B. Hatfield, case number CRB 24793.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
So Mr. Hatfield, one of the things we need to find out, he has parole authority, had a holder on him, we need to know what they were going to do. We were looking at treatment, we weren't sure they would agree with it. Who was your parole?
Justin Preston.
Preston?
We'll have to call, Your Honor. They didn't answer Friday. There was a message left, and they didn't return the call.
Okay.
May I say something on that? My parole officer, I haven't seen him in probably 6 months, like face to face, like he doesn't show up to anything, like I don't have any contact with him, it's just over, messages between other people, like he's not that good with the parole. Okay, he's hard to get hold of, he doesn't show up to anything.
Do you have,
Yes.
do you
All right,
communicate with
we'll try to get a hold of them and we'll recall later in the summer.
Stunnebeck? Matt Stunnebeck, maybe?
You said, Justin, what did you say his last name?
Preston.
Preston was his parole.
Yeah, but my question was, does he ever have contact with Mr. Stunnebeck?
The only person I ever had contact with was Preston, and that's when, and if he answers his phone.
Okay.
All right, we'll get a hold of him today. We'll have you back out after that first.
State of Ohio versus Kenny M. Engles, case number CRB 24546.
This is Mr. Steyer's case.
CRB 19847, CRA 18517, CRB 18518, CRD 18289.
Okay, what was the agency that we were looking at to place Mr.
I think it was Bethesda.
Yeah, Bethesda, Friday had that form, I don't know if they have that form today.
Yes.
Are you still willing to go? Okay.
With an ankle monitor, please.
Yeah.
Okay. He got a little upset because we weren't sure an ankle monitor would be placed Friday, so I said, well, you can just wait till Monday then.
No, sir,
You probably would be best to just be quiet, Mr. Hill. You didn't help yourself out Friday.
With that in mind, Your Honor, I figure we're probably going to come back fairly quickly. I'm here the 23rd and the 30th. If one of those days would be agreeable to the court so we can check on things. Give them a little bit of time to get adjusted, but also check on things fairly quickly.
Let's do the 30th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I'm going to order him released to Bethesda with an ankle monitor. It should happen today. And when you get there, Mr. Engel, you have to do what they tell you to do, when they tell you to do it, how they tell you to do it. You're not going to go in there and refuse to do things, interfere with other people's treatment, or start barking out orders to the treatment providers. Do you understand that?
sure.
Or you can just go back to jail, or not leave it to stay where you are now.
I'm very good with the reasons, sir.
Okay.
I was a food much.
December 30th will be the next hearing.
Thank you.
And, Your Honor, we got several cases that are pending at this point that are misdemeanor cases and can be resolved here. So if there's anything in the way of discovery that Mr. Steyer still needs, or
I'll take a look.
we would want to provide that so that we could have an answer on that day. And I would just state for the record that our primary concern is for Mr. Engles to get his treatment and be successful and turn over a new leaf and head in a new direction in life. But we've got a theft from Walmart, we've got an OVI, those are the misdemeanor charges. And he's got felony charges too, so we want to resolve the misdemeanor charges, and that's going to be our focus. Unless he doesn't want to cooperate, then we'd have to go the other direction.
Okay, we'll expect some answers on those issues on the 30th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Justin Hackworth, case number CRB 24793.
Your Honor, Mr. Corvin knows about this case, so I just wanted to add a recall.
All right, Mr. Corvin has some research information.
Yes, it's my understanding, Margaret, one of our other court liaisons, was in contact with parole, and the holder is supposed to be recalled.
Okay.
I don't know if it's been recalled, Your Honor, or not, but I advised them when we spoke earlier that our goal was to get him into their treatment, and if they were going to lift the holder, that we would put him into the treatment.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, assuming that happens, and he's going to go to the counseling center?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're still agreeable with that, Mr.
I mean, that's all, I was at the counseling center, for sure.
All right.
I was just recently in there, but my parole officer, me and him got into it because I was having problems with people up in the facility that I was at. And he pretty much just laughed it off and, you know, just didn't even think about it. So, I mean, I left the facility and all that. This is what this is about.
That wasn't the counseling center, it was another?
That was the counseling center.
Okay.
This was that, Adams County.
Well,
If you got
now you're going to have Mr. Turbin is, if you got a problem, first talk with him, then he can get it back before the court if we need to.
If you order this, doesn't this have to, like, no, doesn't have to order this? If you order me to do this on your behalf, doesn't that mean that I have to complete it on your behalf?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you leave, there's going to be a warrant plus problems with parole. So, assuming that they are agreeable, so. I'll provisionally make an order that you go, and they'll have to lift their holder before he can pick you up.
Yeah. Were you able to get a hold of the person?
I'm not, but he's saying that he has information that they are going to lift it. So.
Yeah, it should be lifted by now.
Okay.
Should be lifted by now.
Mr. Major's trying to contact them now, so. Looks like it's going to happen. So let's I'll put you out for another hearing in January, assuming that you are going to go. And Mr. Turbin he's good about watching it. If there's a problem, he's going to call me and let me know that. So I'll reschedule it for January. Let's make it, let's see, wrong here, January 24th, I wonder. January 25. We'll set it for the 13th of January. So I'll either see you then on teleconference or in person, or somehow get a report as how you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, January 13th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
State of Ohio versus Rodrie Keith Lewis, case number TRC 213039 A and B.
All right, sir, you're Rodrie Keith Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lewis, it's alleged that you didn't come to court for a review hearing back on May 24th of 24. And it's on an OBI conviction, case number 21-3039. Do you admit or do you deny that you failed to come to court?
I thought they would come to court, yes, sir.
Do you have an explanation for that?
No, I don't. I started relationship for Sean. If the community service, I think I got about 4 or 5 days to do. I'm on work for 2 weeks, and I might finish that up in the next 2 days.
Where are you working?
With the subcontractor where I got enforcement.
Doing what?
Just construction, like, stuff like that.
Okay.
And I probably pay fines all day, or pay most of them.
Do you still live at Mickleway Road?
No.
Where do you live now?
1815 Grandview Avenue.
1815 what?
Grandview Avenue.
Grandview.
Yeah.
Is that inside the county?
Yeah, of course.
How long you been in jail now on this warrant?
Since Friday.
Well, are you going to take care of this, or you want to just lay it out in jail?
Yeah, I'm going to take care of it. Trish is on with
Well, you got to start taking it serious and get this stuff done.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'll send you the time, sir, for not coming to your hearing. I'll give you a new hearing day. This is going to be your only notice. I'm not going to call you up and say, remember your hearings tomorrow morning, you got to get to court. This is not 7th grade. Okay. To make it easy to remember, I'll set it for the last day of January. January 31st.
Thank you, sir.
You gotta be here at the court or have all your stuff done.
Yes.
By then. If you don't have it done, you gotta show up at 9 o'clock or you'll get another warrant. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus William Wallace, case number CRB 24796.
All right, sir, you're William Wallace?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wallace, this is what's called arraignment on a Rule 4 hearing. So you have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. If you make statements, they can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney appointed if you can't afford one, to have bail, make the state prove this charge. The charge is that there's a warrant for you in another area of the state of Ohio, one that doesn't touch Lawrence County, and it's Brown County. The state's alleging that the Court of Common Pleas of Brown County issued a warrant for you, and it looks like it was issued on December the 13th of this year. It says that you failed to comply with conditions of your community control sanctions in Brown County, and they want you arrested and ordered to return to Brown County on this issue. You have a right to have an attorney here to contest whether you're the William Wallace being sought and whether they have a good reason to send you to Brown County. You can waive a Rule 4 hearing. It's called a Rule 4 hearing. You can waive that, and then they don't say what kind of bond they want. I would set a bond for you if you can post it. I'll let you go turn yourself in. If you can't post it, I'll make them, or I'll give them a time frame. I can't make them come. I can give them a time frame in which they have to come get you. If they don't, then I may release you from custody here. So do you understand how this works now? Did I explain it to you? How do you want to proceed? Do you want to have a Rule 4 hearing here and have an attorney here? Do you want to agree to go to Brown County?
I'll agree to go to Brown County.
Okay, you'll need to sign a waiver. I'm going to set bond at $2,000 because they don't even tell me why they've got a holder on me. Is that, and I'll make it cash or surety. So $200 probably gets you out, and I'll give you a time in which you got to go turn yourself in. Is that a bond you think you could make or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you want to talk to the bail bondsman. Or if you got $2,000, you can post that with the clerk. As long as you show up in Brown County, you get all $2,000 back.
So I can just pay $200 today and I can be out?
Well, you have to get the bail bondsman has to agree, but usually it's 10%. So I can't guarantee you that they'll want to do it. They look at your history and they say, oh, I don't think this guy's going to show up, so I'm not going to post it.
Right.
But do you want to talk to the bail bondsman?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll give you till 4 o'clock today to post the bond. And then,
So you're only gonna give me till 4 o'clock today to post the bond?
yeah, do you need more time?
Can I get till like 8 tomorrow, some people won't be able to work till 4 o'clock? So it might be later. You know
Well, what I'm going to do then, I'll give you 3 tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
I'll give you till 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay.
But I'm not going to order them to come pick you up because if you're going to post bond, they have somebody drive all the way here to get to the jail. They said, well, you know what? He's already posted bond. He's out. I'm not going to make them do that. So we're going to wait to see if you can post bond. And I'll put you on my docket again for Friday. That's the 20th. So if you post bond, I want you to turn yourself in before Friday morning at 10 o'clock. Or be here Friday morning at 10 o'clock. If for some reason you can't get there, you gotta show up back here and say, Judge, I couldn't get there, but I'm here.
I'll be there.
Okay. And then if you're still sitting in the jail because you couldn't post bond, then I'm going to start the clock on them on Friday to say, okay, I'm giving you X amount of time to get here to pick him up. I'm not going to start that until I know if you're going to get out of it. Okay, so here's the Rule 4 hearing, and what I wrote down at the bottom, my handwriting's at the best, so you'll see. It says defendant to turn himself in at Brown County before December 20th at 10 a.m. And I put an X where you need to sign, saying you're agreeing to do that. And then I'll have Mr. Cooper, he'll text the, I mean, you can use any bail bondsman that's approved by the court, but Mr. Sowers does most of them, and he's pretty quick about getting in touch with you. So if you want, I'll have Mr. Cooper text him, and then he'll get in touch with you at the jail about posting your bond. Any questions you have, sir? Okay. Good luck. So Brown County by Friday or here by Friday. If you're in the jail, I'll see you probably on teleconference on Friday.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So I'll put him on my docket for Friday, the 20th. It's pre-trouble.
State of Ohio versus Martin H. Vinegar, case number CRA 24633. Your Honor, this is Mr. Holt's case.
Mr. Vinegar is at RRS.
Yes, sir.
And we have a report.
you, sir. Your Honor, I think this was one with, if Mr. Benneker would successfully, I don't know, the word complete or, you know, go through treatment, it would be dismissed. I think that's what we talked about last time. But this is.
Is that correct, Mr. Gill?
I think he's only been doing it for 2 months.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor, and we want to be successful in the treatment.
Okay. So, what's your, so I'd say
Early February?
maybe 2 months. So
Okay.
we could go out.
Would February 7th work?
Yes. February 7th will be the next hearing. Good start, Mr. Gill. Keep
Thank
up
you.
what you're doing.
He's doing great, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Very good.
Mr. Holder, you ready to recall Jacob Nichols?
Yes.
State of Ohio versus Jacob R. Nichols, case number TRC 241236, and they received
Just wanted to look at it.
Second pre-trial.
Wait for it, Your Honor.
Yes.
Do you have a copy of that for me?
Yeah. What's the name?
Have we got the testing done that we were looking for?
Yes, Your Honor. Maybe approach.
Yes.
Anyway, guys.
So.
also about 20% lower than the standard seniors.
That's actually pretty low.
It's very low.
Still over.
1/4 is the first.
So, you never expect to have that much of a difference in testing.
Who knows?
I mean, that breaks down into the, such a small there's reductions in the school. There's obviously something that needs to happen.
I'm just trying to play out what the next logical step would be. I mean, he's going to challenge that, and so he's usually pretty nice person.
Yeah, you have to get that, it's just too expensive.
We're saying to do the school first.
Your Honor, we'd ask for a continuance. I don't know what the time date is on the school.
It's in January.
Do we have one locally now?
Yeah.
We do? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's, the next one's in January, I don't know if it's full up.
Who is it?
Hometown Recovery was putting it on, there was somebody here.
Somebody here?
Lawrence County.
Lawrence County.
Oh, okay.
Lawrence County.
I believe she's already left.
So, well, we want to push it towards like beginning of February then? Would that?
That'd be fine.
Gotta get the school done before then. You tell me, thank you very much.
The third?
I'll be here the 7th, will the 7th work?
7th,
Okay.
already said something.
February 7th.
All right, February's, finish with Price, case continued to February 7th. And it'll be on the docket for pre-trial, but maybe.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Okay. Even if there's one in December. Okay. I'll fix it, get to me, email to me immediately, okay? All right. Appreciate it, thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Randy E. Roy II. Recall, case number CRA 24-771.
Mr. Stratton's case is on the docket today as a preliminary hearing. I just appointed Mr. Stratton today.
Your Honor, the officer is here. I'm not sure if the prosecutor has had a moment to speak with him. If he wants to speak with him.
What do I need to speak with him about? I mean, we can either nominate it to the grand jury.
Maybe approach, Your Honor.
Yes. This case will be recalled later in the docket.
State of Ohio versus Terry J. Aldridge on recall, case number CRB 24-718, A and B.
Mr. Stratton's case, it's on the docket for trial today.
Yes, Your Honor. We had spoken about this earlier, about resetting this. So,
So that's still what you would like? to
yes,
do?
that's what we would like to do.
What was the date you suggested? Was it January?
I didn't suggest a date, but whatever the court's convenient for the court.
And would this be a pre-trial or how?
Your Honor, let's do it. Let's set it for a pretrial, if you don't mind.
The third is pretty good, third, 6th.
The 6th would be good, Your Honor.
All right, January the 6th for pre-trial.
Here's the,
Okay, thank you.
right?
Thank you, appreciate you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
What date are we moving it to, please?
January 6th.
January 6th.
State of Ohio recalls Devon L. Fletcher, case number CRB 24502.
I'm sorry, on this case is...
Mr. Stiers' case, he's going to speak with Mr. Fletcher, he's standing in for Mr. Thompson, who's
Yes.
on medical leave.
I've spoken to Mr. Fletcher and as well as Mr. Heald. We had a pretty positive report here today. It's my understanding, I'm coming in for the first time on this, and this is one of a number, so I think the state may have a motion.
Well, Your Honor, there's a combination of things. First of all, Mr. Fletcher got a pretty positive report again. He's doing really well, and we hope that he'll continue to go on that path even after this case is over. And we have tried, and despite our efforts, have not been able to locate the whereabouts of the alleged victim. He was in treatment at the time, and that was the only information we ever had, and we asked around trying to find out where he might be, but we haven't been able to. So we'll nollie the charges today. The only reason we would ever bring it back is if he came forward and said, I've been here all along, or there's been some rational reason why he hasn't been able to locate us, but that usually doesn't happen.
All right, Mr. Fletcher, your case is being dismissed.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. I want you to know, thank you. And just because it's dismissed does not mean I'm leaving treatment. I'm going to be there. I'm in college now. Took my CDCA. I'm connected with my family and support around me, and I want to thank you.
Thank you for doing that. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Shannon and Ellis, case number TRC 231630, A and B. Shannon, Ellis.
Your Honor, I have a report. She's here.
Which case?
He was here on Terry Aldridge for the truck.
That company
yesterday,
I just
Friday.
told him anymore.
Your Honor, she'll have about 14 months. I believe it'll be 14 months. It was in October last year.
Yeah. So the confusion is, Sam says here for 2, and you're supposed to talk to him about the rule case. That's, he's waiting on, that's what I've been trying to tell him.
Okay.
No, I wasn't talking about all the rich. He's in there waiting on me.
The first one
Counsel State, you want to go forward?
Our notes from last time were that at least we discussed the possibility that we might move on to sentencing today if the report was good. And of course, there's quite a number of pages here, and I haven't looked through all of them, but it appears that she's continuing to do well in treatment and has been for a long time. And this is a case in which obviously the court and everyone having had familiarity with Ms. Ellis probably rooting for her to do well. And so if the court feels like its sentencing is appropriate today, we believe that because of all the efforts that she's put forth, that we would not ask for any jail time to be imposed at this time, but we would ask for suspended jail time, 90 days, and an appropriate fine and driver's license suspension and anything else that the court would feel continue with treatment beyond probation.
Your Honor, we're in agreement with what Mr. Hill said. This has been I think, a very difficult year for Miss Ellis, but also positive in some ways. If the court recalls back in February, she had a very, very serious intestinal surgical procedure that they actually had to go back in where they had to do some major, I don't know, we say rearranging or repairs so that she could have somewhat higher, maintain her quality of life somewhat. So I think that not only through the treatment has benefited her, but she's also taken care of some health things that really were forced upon her shortly after this happened. So Your Honor, she also spent approximately 7 weeks on an ankle monitor prior to this. But our goal the entire time was to show the court, and I know Miss Ellis will want to speak to the court because she holds the court in high regard and feels a connection to the court and her employment, was to avoid jail's time. And beyond that, really just that was the priority: get better, show the court that she was taking it seriously, and to really show the court that the time and investment and a positive outcome for her was worth it.
Ms. Ellis, do you have anything you wish to say before we send?
I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity to get my life back together. I had spiraled out of control after my divorce some time ago and embarrassed myself, embarrassed my reputation and my licensure and a lot of things in my life that I've rebuilt over the past year, the relationship with my kids and my career and things like that. And I just want to thank the entire court system for being with me along the way.
What's your plan going forward?
My plan is to work on getting my clinical license back. I currently work at Prostera, which my master's degree carries me for my job over there, but I want to get it back in Ohio so I can reciprocate over there because I have the opportunity for a supervisor position over there.
Okay. Well, you've worked with this court for a long time, and I know you've done a lot of good work. This was a bad situation, put it that way, and it all happened within a short period of time, so I'm sure it was a reaction to some other things that were going on in your life, but still, it's difficult. It's difficult because to see you go through this and then to have you put everything on the line, put everybody at risk.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, my goal here is that you get in recovery, stay in recovery, and help other people that are trying to do the same thing. So, I am, at this point, when I say that's going to happen and trust that it's going to happen, don't make me look bad. If you go get another one, then it's going to be a bad situation for you in terms of what you're exposing yourself to. I mean, you're working in West Virginia. It could be a felony over there. I think it could be a felony here.
It would be.
So, I know you can do this. You have done it in the past in terms of being successful. That's what I want to see, and trusting that we're going to see going forward.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I think you know, you still gotta keep working at it.
We pled guilty
Yes.
probably nearly a year ago. I'm sorry.
So we'll enter as guilty pleas on both cases, and I'll go through now. We'll start with the 1630 case. This one got, okay, so. Well, what's the state willing to treat these as in terms of the level of offense?
Well, they were both second offense.
Yeah, they filed a second, huh? 2 seconds.
Yeah. High scores.
Well, one's a refusal. The
Yeah.
second one was a refusal.
Yeah. Well, I guess what it would boil down to is treating it as if it's a first offense and 2 first offenses, realizing, of course, this is a pretty big jump, and I know that Ms. Ellis understands that. The only reason we'd be willing to do that is because of the amount of effort that she's put forth in her rehabilitation. But we would ask that there would be a larger suspended jail sentence of 90 days, and then complete her treatment as part of her probation, and driver's license suspension. This is already over a year, but and appropriate fines.
Your Honor, whatever form it takes, Ms. Ellis isn't going to object to anything, especially considering that that everyone has been willing to work with her. So there wouldn't be objection. Her whole goal was to get better, maintain her employment, which she has, and actually has. As soon as she takes the steps after this, is able to advance her employment. So we have no objection to what's occurred. We just asked the court. We did apply. She waited the requisite time to get the driving permit, so she is able to do that. So we asked that continue, and she does have insurance for that. So, Your Honor, whatever form the court wishes it takes, our priority was to just to stay out of jail so she would be able to keep her job.
Okay. Well, usually on the refusal, even on a first offense, I give a $1,000 fine, but I'm going to make it $500 for you. And I don't know if I should say this, but you're getting some special treatment because of your past and what you have done since then. It's disappointing that you would refuse to take the test, but I'm telling myself that was a different Shannon than the Shannon we're dealing with now. So again, don't make me look like an idiot in the future. I'll make it a 6-month license suspension. So your suspension is going to be up. 90 days in jail, 90 suspended. So you've got quite a bit of, if you fail, you've got quite a bit of jail time over your head. I'm going to work you to do 5 days of community service. 2 years, I'm going to make it level 4 probation. I'm not going to require you to do the driver intervention program since you did counseling before. I will order that you continue in treatment until the treatment agency says you don't need to continue. I assume you're still doing some counseling? Or?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, did you say there was no drugs and treatment?
Right, no dip schools. He's already done quite a bit. I'll give you a permit, but I think you're going to be eligible to get your license back, so. Or you can do that as soon as possible. Let's set a review hearing for March the 7th. She had a B case. then to the 23-15-30. And I'll make that a $500 fine also. Court costs, 90 days in jail, suspended, 6-month license suspension, 5 days community service, no dip school required, continuing counsel, March 7th, review and date. 9 o'clock. Okay. Go check in with Mr. Major, and you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
So in case of regular control.
State of Ohio recalls Kenny Engles. I can hold him, case number CRB 24-506.
Your Honor.
CRB 19-847, CRA 18-517-518.
I had this recall, Carl Bone reached out to me, and the policy of their court is that if a subject is cut an ankle monitor off, they don't reissue the monitor unless that defendant pays up front for the entire monitor.
Well, does he have a charge in their court?
No, but he had previously cut a monitor off and went to prison for it, and that's,
Oh, okay.
as their policy is, they don't reissue one to there unless the defendant pays the price of the monitor up front.
What's the state's position?
I will be rehab.
Yes.
What did he say? He
He
doesn't?
said he won't leave rehab.
Okay, well then jail's a good place for him.
He won't leave rehab.
Oh, he won't leave rehab. Well, I've got an idea that, and this would be a challenge to Mr. Engles, because we want him to change his ways, we want him to be successful, but he's got a number of charges that are still pending here. And I think that a good motivator for him to agree to go to treatment and not leave is to go ahead and plead guilty to these charges and have a whole bunch of time waiting for him if he skips out. And then if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, I would ask for 6 months in jail.
Would that include a reduction of the felony?
Yeah, we do that if the court was,
Is that a possession?
it's a possession, yes.
Oh.
We do an M1 on that. In fact, we want to ask the court to make it a year, 2 6-month sentences consecutive, and give him credit for the time he's been in there, let him go to treatment, and if he steps out of line, he can go to jail.
So you understand what's being proposed? Basically, you have a year over your head, might as well every time you've been in there, you not maybe we can do that. So close to a year, you have over your head. You left the treatment, you can look at maybe getting that whole year.
I'm not going to leave treatment, but I have a problem with being guilty to the FBI.
Well, then we can set a pressure off.
Because I'm not guilty to the FBI. I was on my front porch, unlocking my door in the highway trouble, pulling my driveway. How can I get FBI?
There are issues there, but we're not going to try them today. We're not.
Okay, let's just set a trial date on the ODI now.
I'll think this is the other one.
Third's a good date, January 3rd.
Well, if he's going to plead to the other ones, we're okay with having a pretrial on the OVI and letting Mr.
Let's do
Steyer
that. Yeah, you're right.
develop his case and whatnot.
You said,
Yeah, I'll plead guilty to all of them. Let's do all we rehab. I'm going to change it.
that's Mr. Engles' preference.
I'm down.
Okay, so it's my understanding then there's going to be a plea to all the matters here and the felony that's pending.
Well, hang on, you can't plead to a felony in this court, that's not reduced before you can do that.
It's either going to be reduced or it's already been, is there, what's the case number? Oh, okay, 24,662, I didn't see it. Okay.
There are just some older things there.
Yeah.
Mixed into this as well.
24,662. It's an aggravated possession of drugs felony 5. So we're going to amend that to
It can be amended to an M1 under the same section, Your Honor.
just call it an M1 under the same section. That's what the state is agreeable to doing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then. All right, so it's my understanding Mr. Engles is entering a guilty plea to all matters before this court that are still open, which are now all misdemeanors.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you agree with that, Mr. Engles?
Yes, sir.
You have a right to make a statement if you wish to. Do you wish to say anything to the court?
I don't think so, Your Honor, no.
Okay. Okay, well, let's start with 24,662. It's an M1 now. I'll impose a fine of $100 in court costs, 180 days in jail. What's the amount of time he claims he's been in
You know
jail?
how long he's been in jail this time?
Altogether, 2 weeks.
Give him 14 days credit.
Who stipulated that, Your Honor?
So, is that the 166 suspended? Is that what? Yeah. 166 suspended, 14 credit. Ordered to treatment at Bethesda, inpatient. Review hearing fairly quickly. Make that January 3rd, figure out how he's doing. Then on the 24,663A, it's a possession of controlled substance, $100 fine, no court cost because I think it happened at the same time as the other case. So 180 days to spend 166, credit for 14. Same review hearing date, January 3rd. B case is drug paraphernalia, that's an M4. $25 fine, no court costs. We don't want him to be in jail on that. And then, he's got 24,546. Oh, he's got the ODIs too. Okay, we can do that. You get that right, the ODI. $24,136 was the I'll impose a $375 fine, that's the minimum. Court costs 6-month license suspension, 180 days in jail, 166 suspended, credit for 14. 5 days community service, 2 years level 4 probation, no dip school. March 7th review hearing.
March 7th,
No, I'm sorry, January 3rd. January 3rd is what I said. Just picking up the review hearing from the last case. We don't have to put anything on that. I'll dismiss the B case. Those lights on the bicycle. No lights on the bicycle. And we got 24,546. That was the Walmart. Okay, I'll make it a $25 fine, court costs, 180 days in jail, 166 suspended, credit for 14. This will be consecutive to the other cases, so that gives them almost a year total. Over his head. All right, you're going to go to treatment. We'll see you after the holidays with a good report. Remember what I said about how you're going to behave yourself?
Yeah.
Before you act out, think.
I'm hoping they'll help me with that issue, but I've had 2 major head injuries in a year, and I have a lot of problems doing certain things. I don't understand why, but I'm not like that.
Well, that's the first step. You understand you got a problem, so you can control it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
See you in a few weeks.
When is the next hearing? When's the 3rd?
January 3rd for review.
State of Ohio versus Russell A. Martin, case number CRA 24625.
It's a good report. And this is on the sentencing docket.
Your Honor, he pled guilty to the resisting arrest previously, and we kept the domestic violence and the disrupting public services pending. And we wanted him to complete treatment and be successful.
Yeah, it's a really good report we got today.
Yeah, Mr. Honor, sorry, I was speaking with Mr. Martin, but he's also going through a divorce. This is something that was related to ongoing domestic matter.
I can reach out to him.
He was under the understanding that they're recommending, he wasn't aware for this either, but they're recommending he continue on level 1.0. I'm not sure what that is.
It's outpatient. It's what he's been doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's completed the anger management, and he was under the impression that you had completed the...
Yeah, I thought I was done well.
Okay, so what we had talked about was he would plead, and we would ask for a suspended jail sentence on the resisting, and whatever else went along with that, and if the other two would be be dismissed, the disruption in the M1 domestic.
Are you ready to do that now, Mr.?
I believe that he's reached that level of compliance and completion to do that. And we have also reported that there's been no further problems between him and the alleged victim. So we can agree to dismiss those other charges, and we would agree on the resisting arrest to recommend a suspended jail sentence of 30 days.
And he's going to pay the fine cost today, Your Honor. To expand on what Mr. Hild said, everything's going well with he and his wife who are going through the divorce. They're sharing fully in the custody of the care of the child, so everything's been going very well.
Okay, so 24-625 is Nolly. That's the disrupting public services.
What's the other case number, Your Honor?
24-627 A and B.
Let's make sure.
On the resisting arrest, I'll impose a $150 fine on court costs. 10 days in jail suspended. Level 5 probation. Is there any community service recommended on that?
We didn't take a position on that, Your Honor.
Mr. Hall?
He is employed, he's a supervisor at the new electric, the grid, if you want to explain that, it's the new
powerhouse right beside the AP yard there.
So he's a high-level electrician. He's usually working 5 or 6 days a week, sometimes 7.
Yeah, I've been on 7 days.
Because it's newer and they're not fully staffed. So he'd left the union as a foreman to then, well, he's still in the union, but the normal union jobs, and he's now working at that plant. So I know that with community service, we'd ask maybe if there would be a higher fine, because I know especially in the winter, but Saturday opportunities may be a little bit more limited if the court's inclined to go that way.
I'm just reading the affidavit. Okay, I think there needs to be 5 days of community service. Okay, 30 hours of community service, 2 years level 5 probation. Review hearing will be June 16th. 25. 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the domestic is dismissed. Needs to see Mr. Major.
Do you want to clarify?
And it's read out.
The treatment. Okay, good. Okay, cool. Thank you, Your Honor. Absolutely. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Belinda Fuller, case number CRB 24-624, CRB 21-753.
Mr. Stratt's case. 24-624, 21-753. Yes.
What time the chore sheet consists of?
Okay, it's a pretty good report.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I'm learning to have real friends.
Well, that's important.
Yes, sir.
Remember, get mad, just let it go. Let it go. Walk away from it. Get mad. So.
Not feeling happy. I can push back over and over.
We continue, Your Honor?
Yes. Mine?
Yes.
13th?
Yeah, that'll work.
January 13th.
January 13th.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And 13's my lucky number.
Very good.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Freddie L. Atkins, case number CRB 23-437, CRB 23-631.
No?
Power pole blew over. Trampoline got the power pole, cost me $200.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday, my heat messed up, cost me $190. Woke up this morning, still ain't working.
Oh, jeez,
So,
okay.
and it's Christmas.
Yeah, Your Honor, we'll probably need another month to make sure we get everything paid. He's had some expenses lately, and in addition to run up to Christmas, so.
January 13th.
Yeah, that'll work.
For sentencing, January 13th.
Thank you.
I'm just kicking my ass right now.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Sid Mosser, case number TRC 24-487, CRB 24-258.
You could have waited outside.
That's all right. It's okay.
Sentencing.
Yes, you're the VP, right?
I completed, oh yeah, I still do inpatient,
You
outpatient.
still do outpatient?
Yeah, I've been making all my appointments. I got one today at 1 o'clock actually.
It's been at ODP.
Yeah, just 1 second.
I'm doing medical and counseling there.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and my daughter, that's my daughter and, kids and, remember the kids.
Can I pressure on her?
Yes. Well, first step, let's have him do a urine screen.
All right. I guess go get tested.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's going to go get tested. You don't want to do that. These are sentences.
This is Freddie Atkins.
Oh, yeah. That's been going on forever.
When are you supposed to pay costs and that?
State of Ohio versus Gavin Montgomery, case number TRC 23-937.
Yeah. Pay calls.
Second here, Your Honor. This matter is set for sentencing. Mr. Montgomery pled to a reduced charge from an OVI earlier. There was an agreement that he would attend the 3-day school. I have a certificate here to bring forward.
Okay.
Now, was this the one in Middletown, Ohio? Middletown, Ohio? Okay.
$365, that's what it cost
That, and then I had to pay fees for having to reschedule it. So the base of the class was $365. I paid an additional $100 in fees for rescheduling.
you. Okay.
Where is
Well, that's a
Middletown?
lot less than what's the one here, like $600?
Yes, sir. It was $580 for that one.
Okay. I mean, it's good, isn't that if people can travel, they can go to
That's in Cincinnati area?
Yes.
north of Cincinnati, right?
It's in, right, about 30 minutes from Dayton.
In
Okay.
between Dayton and Cincinnati. Okay, so what's the state's position now that he's completed.
I'm not certain off the top of my head what he pled to. It was a reduction from OVI, I believe, to
Was it reckless?
reckless.
Or physical control? Your Honor, I don't have that file with me. And I don't have any notes on it because it's been a while.
You
But
want
we-
to pull your file, or? I didn't make a note as what the reduction was, but I did.
I believe it was reckless operation, Your Honor.
And that would suit us.
Okay. All right, I'll impose a $150 fine and court costs. Can you pay that today or you need time?
I would like to get a little bit of time to pay that, if possible. I paid that and left him with $2, so that.
I'll set it as a final pay date is March 25th. So you got till March 25th to pay it. If you don't pay it, by then it goes into the B&D, you get a license suspension.
So as long as you pay by that day, you got no problem. If you don't, we'll get a suspension.
I would like to say something, if it's okay with you. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the state, and Mr. Steyer for y'all's patience during this. Second, and most importantly, I think that watching you over the course of this case has really inspired me to push change. I've seen time and time again coming here how just as easily as you could have sent someone to jail for something, you've inspired them to do better for themselves. It touches me personally because addiction has ran in my family for a very long time. It essentially drugged my mother into an early grave, and it has really touched me and inspired me, and I'm now about 6 months with no alcohol whatsoever. And I think that it's a really good thing what y'all are doing here. A lot of times I've seen where people have come up here for possession charges and they throw them in jail, and it's just as easy for them to get it there. So I just want to thank you for what you're doing in the state as well.
Well, thank you for your comments. It is, I guess, my life's mission now. And these are my final days. I've got 5 more years on the bench, and it's changed so much since once I first started. Over 30 years ago, we didn't have this problem, and it just seems like there's so many people that are touched by it, so many families that are touched by substance use now, that I want to try to do what I can to help people get in recovery and have a better life. And we know now, we've learned things over the last 30 years. When I first started, there was a lot of judges, and I think maybe there's still a few that think, well, we'll just put them in jail. We know now from studies that people that go to jail with an addiction come out with an addiction and probably a worse addiction. So it's not going to cure the problem, jail. Although, I mean, I use jail sometimes to get people's attention. I don't put myself into thinking putting someone in jail cure their addiction problems. It's probably going to, we know, make it worse, because they're going to learn. It's like going to college for criminal behavior.
They're just going to get it in there too.
Prison. So anyway, but thank you for your comments, and you're a young guy. Hopefully you're going to go on and have a successful life and learn from this experience, and don't make the same mistake.
It's the first time I've ever been in an interaction with a cop in my life, so yeah, no, I'm not doing it again.
You know, the bad thing is people that don't learn, they just keep making the same mistakes over. So go on and do good. That's what I'd like to see.
Yes, Sean. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Edward High versus Julie Banks, case number TRD 231343, A and B.
Julie Banks is set for a sentencing hearing, and she has a bond up. Mr. Sellers, this is just on a driving under suspension. She's trying to get her license back. I gave her some time to do it, but she hasn't. That's another 5 minutes. set it for a bond forfeiture hearing. January 3rd.
State of Ohio recalls Sid Mosser, case number TRC 24487, CRB 24258.
Okay, it's a good suit.
It is, Your Honor, so.
6 months.
Is there a reason he hasn't been in the OP?
Huh? Is there a reason?
What reason what?
The reason you haven't?
They said you missed some appointments.
I missed one. I lost my phone, disappeared, and I had my calendar on. I had an appointment today at 1 o'clock.
Well, you might make that one still.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. That's where I was headed after here. The only reason I've missed, because I've been seen there multiple times. I love OBP. I was actually trying to apply for a job there the other day. Anyway, well, it's like the third time I've tried to apply. Every time I go, they want, first it was 90 days, then it was 6 months, and I got 6 months, now it's a year. It's like, I really wanted to work at OBP.
Well, you're clean, so that's good. So let's just keep on going then.
Yeah,
You need to go back today. Go back and get your schedule worked out with that one.
Yeah, my phones keep just, anyway, okay.
Do you have a phone now?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just, I don't know, things keep happening, they keep growing legs, I guess, and, so, anyway.
Is that new number yours, Apex?
I don't even have one now, my calendars are gone, that's why it keeps happening, I don't even have a way to tell time.
Right.
You have to go back to the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Watch and a piece of paper to
Well,
write down on.
somebody did give me a watch, but it's about dead, and you can't always see it, and it had me all messed up. I missed church yesterday, and I was really discouraged over it all.
So it's going back today at 1, Your Honor.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now, it's 12:39, so you got 21 minutes.
Yeah.
Are you going to OBP on 20th Street?
Yeah.
Okay. You
Yep.
got a car, or how are you walking?
I got some Nikes.
Okay.
Yeah. Bless the Lord. Yeah. Got 2 feet.
There you go. Road then.
Your Honor,
What is it?
I will tell Mr. Mosser that I'm going over to Gavin when I leave here, which will be in a few minutes. I can take you.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful. Perfect. Perfect. Awesome.
You got
You
it
guys
right.
good. Guys good.
Okay, we'll see you on the 13th.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Thank you for all you're doing. I really respect your court and what you're doing to make a difference.
So just go out there and have a seat and
Yeah.
Mr. James will come fetch you.
I'll leave.
Sure.
State of Ohio recalls Randy Roy, case second, case number CRA 24771.
Stratton's case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had a chance to talk with?
I spoke with Chief Sammons, and he does have a great amount of sympathy for Mr. Roy, who he believes is basically a good guy and everything, but there's no explanation for what happened, and he said that he was chasing Mr. Roy at 120 miles an hour and ran somebody off the road. It's inexplicable, but it was so dangerous. We could be talking about a case of vehicular homicide or worse, which we're not, thankfully, but it still is a situation that we can't see our way clear to leave the case here. It's going to have to go to the grand jury. And I hope that this is not something that has to destroy Mr. Roy's life, but it is a pretty serious thing and a really bad misjudgment on his part. So if he wants to save his bond, I guess he should waive his right to a preliminary hearing.
To save the bond, you have to wait. If not, they were just going to dismiss it and send it down there anyway. So, Your Honor, we'll waive.
Okay. So what you're gonna sign a piece of paper, Mr. Roy, just says, you agree, I don't have to hear evidence to decide, is there enough evidence to take you to the grand jury? Your case is gonna go to the grand jury. So, what does that mean? Well, you can talk to Mr. Stratton about it more, do some research. It's kind of complicated, and it's all tied up in our old English system, but felonies are considered so serious that you gotta have people in the community look at it and say, yeah, this case needs to be prosecuted. That's called an indictment. You've probably heard of people getting indicted before. That's when it's a felony, you have to be indicted by the grand jury. So they're gonna take it to the grand jury, present evidence, and then if you get indicted, you're gonna be in the court in Ironton at the, it's called the Common Police Court at the main courthouse. And you live in Proctorville, so if I were you, I would, you gotta bond up, so you keep your bond, but sometimes what happens is they send out a notice and you don't get it, or you moved or whatever, and you don't show up, then they may issue another warrant for you. So I would make sure I got there. If you get indicted, and walk in on your own accord and say, Judge, I'm here. I came on my own. You don't have to issue a warrant for me. Now, are you still at 132 Township Road, 1267?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's where they should send it. Unfortunately, I would like to say, well, you used to have to stay in touch with Mr. Stratton and he'll find out. He may not know when you get indicted.
Give you this anyway.
You can, you have access to a computer?
Yes, sir.
The clerk, Michael Patterson is the clerk, he has a website. This is the other thing I would do. I would go on his website periodically and say, are you indicted yet? You can put your name in and it'll show up whether you got an indictment. And if it's on there, it'll say, well, this is your court date. Then I would make sure I was there the day of my court first appearance.
Okay, it's on right there ready.
But you're gonna be gone from this court. You're going on down to Ironton to the Common Police Court.
Was that the only case number you're on?
Yeah, there's only one, 24771. Okay, any questions, Mr. Roy?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Stay on top of it, get down there when you're supposed to, keep your bond. You can't, you got a bond up, you want to keep it. You don't have to post to no one or get arrested.
Yeah, it's probably waived, so. Okay.
Okay, what?
State of Ohio recalls Charles DeFore, case number TRC 24-269, A, B, and C.
Your Honor, that was the one from the review this morning. I will check on his community service.
You never did come in?
No, I talked to him Saturday, and I thought that he told me he had court today. He may have thought it was next Friday, because I know he said he was going to try to finish his community service one day this week.
Okay. Well, I'll put it down as a bench warrant and to be issued in 7 days. So that gives him a week to get it in here. Get it done.
Your Honor, I think we're finished, but I see Mr. Morford sitting there, and I don't have any other case holders.
You don't have Austin Pritchard?
We already called Austin Pritchard earlier and finished with him.
Okay.
Okay, court's adjourned.